Hey guys, let me ask you something. When somebody asks you a question in English, at work, with friends, casually, really anywhere, do you find yourself saying yes almost automatically? This isn't because it feels right or it feels natural, it's because your brain just kind of free. And yes just feels like the safest place to land. People understand you, no one corrects you, and yet something about it is just a little off. It feels a little flat and stiff and like you're not really in the conversation. Now, I know this exact feeling from speaking foreign languages, and it's a difficult place to be. If that feeling sounds familiar, I want you to know something right away. This is not a vocabulary problem, and it's also not a confidence problem. And it is most definitely not because your English is bad. It's because native speakers don't use yes the way learners are taught to, and almost no one ever explains this. So why does this feel uncomfortable? Here's what you were taught. English questions work like this. You have a question and you have an answer. So somebody asks, "Do you want coffee?" and you answer yes. Very simple. Question, answer. This is correct, this is logical, and it's also perfect grammar. But real life conversations don't run on logic. They run on emotion, rhythm, shared experiences, and a sort of social comfort. Native speakers don't hear a question and think to themselves, "Now, what is the correct answer?" Native speakers think, "How do I feel in this moment?" And yes, all by itself doesn't communicate warmth, enthusiasm, hesitation, politeness, or even confidence. Yes really communicates nothing. This is exactly why yes can sound a little cold, formal, distant, and a bit uncomfortable, honestly. Not because it's wrong, but because it's unfinished. So here is the invisible rule that no one teaches. Remember, native speakers do not answer questions. They react to situations. And that's it. When someone speaks to you, they're not really asking for an answer or for information. They are, but they're opening a social moment. And native speakers respond to that moment, not to the words. Now, are you following? Does this make sense? And once you understand this, a lot of English suddenly makes sense. This explains why sentences are incomplete, why people add extra words, and why tone matters much more than grammar does. Now, let's slow this down and look at what this actually sounds like. So we're going to start with a friendly, casual yes. In casual conversation, native speakers almost never say yes. I honestly find myself hardly ever saying yes, only in very formal situations. And this isn't because it's wrong, but because it just sounds a little too clean and unfinished. Instead, we say, yeah, or yeah, sure, or yeah, of course, or yeah, that's fine. These are all very common answers that mean yes, but feel more natural. Yeah is really important. Yes is very precise, while yeah is much softer and much more relaxed. Yeah signals openness, comfort, and ease. And then after that, you build. So the extra words after yeah really show how you feel. So let's compare these two examples. The first one, the question is, "Do you want to come with us?" Now, the first answer is yes, which is technically correct, but socially distant. The second answer is, "Yeah, sure." This is relaxed, friendly, and open. Can you hear the difference? Now let's compare another answer. So the same question, "Do you want to come with us?" Here's one answer. "Yes, I can." This is very formal and very stiff. Now let's hear the other one. "Yeah, I can do that." This is natural, and it says you can go, but it's natural and relaxed. Now remember, natives don't notice this because we're not choosing exact words. We're choosing a mood to answer the moment with. Now this is the rule you need to copy, and you really need to burn this in. If the situation is friendly and casual, yes, becomes yeah plus something. So, yeah, sure. Yeah, I can do that, right? Yeah, and then finish the thought. That single habit will change how your English sounds instantly. Now, why do learners stay stuck here? Many learners avoid yeah because it feels too formal, they worry it's incorrect, or they were told that yes is more polite. I see this all the time with my students. But politeness in English is not about formality. It's about warmth. And yes alone has zero warmth. This is why advanced learners often even sound less natural than beginners. They are trying too hard to be correct. Fluency begins when you allow yourself to be slightly messy. So let's move to category 2. We are going to talk about a confident and professional yes. So let's move into work situations. At work, yes alone creates a very different problem. It can sound unsure, passive, or non-committal. Now, I know this sounds backwards to you because yes is clean and polite, but this is a social construct. Now, it sounds this way not because of the word itself, but because of what it's missing. Native speakers almost always add some sort of ownership. Instead of yes, we say, yes, absolutely, or yes, that works for me, or yes, I can take care of that, or yes, that sounds good. So this communicates something very different. You're not just agreeing, you're signaling confidence, readiness, and reliability. So this is what taking ownership looks like. So here's an example. Your manager asks, "Can you do this by Friday?" And let's compare 2 responses. The first one, yes, that's it. Now, this just sounds like compliance. The second one, say, yes, that works for me. And here, that sounds like control, like you are really up to it in a positive way. So here is the rule that you need to copy. In professional English, yes must be followed by clarity. Not longer sentences, just clearer reactions. So why does this affect confidence? Many learners say, and I hear this all the time, I feel confident, but I don't sound confident. And here is why. Confidence in English is not volume or speed. It's how complete your reaction sounds. Native speakers do not leave emotional gaps when they're talking. And this is exactly what you need to learn. So let's move to category 3. This is the polite and careful yes. Sometimes you agree, but you don't want to sound too strong. So instead of just yes, we say, yes, I think so. Or yes, that should be fine. Or yes, probably. Or yes, I believe so. This is funny because textbooks teach exact certainty and precision, but real life speaking actually values this sort of social balance and softness when you're speaking. So here is the rule to copy. If you want to sound polite or flexible, add a softener. This doesn't weaken your English, it humanizes your English. Now let's move to category 4. This is the reluctant or hesitant yes. Sometimes yes does not mean I'm happy. We say, yeah, I guess. Or, yeah, I mean, okay. Or, yeah, if you think so. Here, tone does the real work and it really carries the meaning of what you're saying. So here is the rule for you to copy. Your English should reflect how you actually feel, not how polite you think you should sound. And that all comes down to tone. This is advanced fluency. So if you are there, great job. But it will take a long time to train your ear and your mouth to really express the difference in tone. So let's move to category 5. This is the enthusiastic yes. When native speakers are excited, yes often completely disappears, actually. We say definitely, absolutely, or for sure, or 100%. So what you need to remember, and this is the rule you need to copy, fluent English is expressive English. So if you're excited, show it. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Match your words to your energy. So make sure you're not just saying yes. That does not match your excitement. So how can you make this switch with yes automatic? Here's how this becomes natural instead of feeling forced. Stop translating yes. That is the most important thing. Listen to other people's reactions, not their exact answer. And when you are practicing English, practice 3 alternatives out loud. You should also try to copy tone from real conversations. You can practice this really easily by shadowing what you hear in podcasts, TV shows, even real life conversations. This is a great way to practice this. And this is also where pronunciation quietly matters. Not perfect sounds, but stress, rhythm, and how reactions flow together. If this part of it feels hard, I've put together a short pronunciation workout that helps you practice exactly this. Natural stress, relaxed rhythm, and real reaction sounds. This is not about changing your accent. It's about helping your English sound the way that it already feels in your head. I've linked it below if you want something guided to help you practice this. No pressure, just a tool if you need it. So no, yes is not wrong, but sounding natural in English means reacting like a human, not just responding like a textbook. When you change this one habit, your English immediately sounds warmer, more confident, and just more real. And that is exactly what fluent English actually sounds like. So if this video helped you, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. I post weekly lessons to help you speak more naturally, to help you speak naturally, confidently, and fluently. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Thanks for watching.